We're pleased to be joined right now by Geoff Kretchmer. He's the co-partner of Detroit Axe, joining us now on the MegaCast. Jeff, thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate having you on. So Detroit Axe has 3 locations now. You're opening up a new location at the Yard at Cork Town, but there's also 2 other locations. So tell us a little bit about Detroit Axe and each of these locations. Are they pretty similar, or is there something different at each one of these places?
Thanks for asking. So they've got some similarities, but there are differences. So our flagship, our original Detroit Axe location is in Ferndale. It's 2 blocks west of Woodward off of 9 Mile Road. And there's a couple concepts there. Downstairs is a full-service restaurant called The Corner, game bar and grill. And in that concept, downstairs we've got 500 board games. We've got a big gaming crowd that joins us all the time. We've got karaoke, which is a big night last night. It was a kickoff of karaoke. And we've got a Quizzo show and another Bango show that comes in. And it's a full bar. Upstairs, we've got 12 axe throwing lanes. That is all axe throwing in a bar upstairs with a couple of video games. The Partridge Creek location is more of a traditional bar axe throwing space. We have a full bar, and we've got, again, 12 axe throwing lanes. It is located right across from Bar Louie at the Partridge Creek Mall. We're very proud of the design, and that place is taking off. And then the Yard at Cork Town is got 2 major concepts. One is axe throwing, 12 axe lanes with, again, the 500 board games. But we also have about 8,500 or so square feet outside, where we have a deck and we have fireplaces and we've got some cool stuff going on. We've got cornhole right now, and our plans are to develop the outside space even further for next spring and summer.
We're joined by Geoff Kretchmer. He is the co-partner of Detroit Axe, promoting their new location now at the Yard at Cork Town. Of course, their other 2 locations, as he had mentioned, are located in Ferndale and in Partridge Creek. Learn more information on their website at DetroitAxe.com. So just give us a little bit of a preview. What is the location at the Yard at Cork Town going to be like? What's that experience at Detroit Axe's location there going to be like, different from the other locations?
Yeah, so the beauty is that we've got an indoor-outdoor space. Although we have a patio in Ferndale, we have a pretty significant outdoor space, and that's referred to as the Yard at Cork Town. We are lucky enough to have partnered with Jeremy Calamus of Ruckus Taco, who has been part of our family for a really long time. He uses the Ferndale location as his commissary. And so we bought an Airstream trailer. I think it's a 1967 or around there Airstream trailer, and we've tricked it out to become a kitchen for Jeremy and Ruckus Taco. So we're serving tacos and nachos and burrito bowls and churros and fries, and it's a really neat addition into the full bar that we have inside. There's an indoor-outdoor bar, and I think that when, certainly during COVID, when outdoor space has become so critical, we're very proud of our design. My partner, Brian Siegel, has a beautiful eye for design, and he has spent countless months and years envisioning all 3 locations, and we're very proud of the way it turned out. Every detail is covered, and when you come into it, our favorite part, there's a lot of favorite parts, but one of our favorite parts is when you walk into our locations and you see phones come out immediately, because there are 20 or 25 Instagrammable ideas and concepts that pop out at you right when you walk into our facility. We're located at 1375 Michigan Avenue. Corktown's been a beautiful place to be a part of, right across the street from Nemo's and Ottava Via, right in the heart as you enter westbound on Michigan Avenue into Corktown. We're kind of the first building on the south side of the street.
We're joined by Geoff Kretchmer. He is the co-partner of Detroit Axe, joining us on the MegaCast. And so you have 3 locations, and they're all now you'll have 3 locations, including the new location coming up at the Yard at Cork Town, or that has opened at the Yard at Cork Town on October 15th. So these are 3 really different places, 3 different locations, all across southeastern Michigan. Ferndale obviously has its own unique identity as a town, especially in their downtown area. Same thing with Partridge Creek. So why Cork Town for the next place for Detroit Axe to go? What drew your business to go downtown, particularly to the Cork Town area?
So we're giant Detroit fans. Both Brian and I grew up in the Detroit area. And we have been envisioning having a space in Detroit since we opened our Ferndale location. And so it was all a matter, Tyler, it was a matter of time and trying to find the right location. We're very bullish on Cork Town. We have a lot of friends who have businesses there. There's a lot of activity happening across the street from us. A 227-room hotel called the Godfrey Hotel is going up probably in the next 18 months to 2 years. They started demolition of the buildings last week. As you know, Ford is moving into Cork Town. What has been amazing to us is all the other restaurant partners around. We had an open house on Thursday for family and friends and business acquaintances, and there's so many of our neighbors that showed up to this soft opening, and they're such wonderful, warm people. And so we know we picked the right location. It took a long time to find the right location, but we're excited to be there. And really working with the people in Cork Town, there's a very intense Cork Town business district who are very proud of their community. And like working in Ferndale, Tyler, it was great to start to get to know some of these people and understand the legacy that Cork Town and the Cork Town location has had on them. And we're just happy to be a part of their family.
We're joined by Geoff Kretchmer, the co-partner of Detroit Axe, who has just opened a 3rd location in addition to their Ferndale and Partridge Creek location at the Yard, located in Cork Town. That is a 8,000 square foot attraction with indoor and outdoor space for axe throwing, but also some classic games as well, including pinball, shuffleboard, a lot of board games also. And that is that new location in Cork Town is at 1375 Michigan Avenue in Detroit, and of course in the Cork Town area. And so with all these axe throwing locations, whether it be Detroit Axe or another company, a lot of the times these are also accompanied by food locations, by restaurants, certainly by bars. And that brings up the common question, I'm sure, of combining alcohol with throwing what is a dangerous weapon, or could be something used as a dangerous weapon. So I want to give you some time to address how Detroit Axe goes about navigating that situation to provide a fun experience for its patrons, but also a safe experience.
Yeah, it's a very fair question. And you know, it's a bit of a misnomer because it's super safe. We've had about 4 million throws in our time without any incidences. And now it's all 3 locations because we started throwing axes last week in Cork Town. But we take safety very seriously. And what happens in each axe lane when there's somebody participating in axe throwing is that we have an axe master, someone who is tips trained, who recognizes when people had too much to drink. And often it's not about just drinking too much, Tyler. It's any type of erratic behavior. Because you're right, an axe is a dangerous weapon. And if someone chooses to be neglectful about the responsibility of throwing an axe, then we gently remove them from the axe lanes. And I will tell you that in the 4 years of being open, starting in Ferndale, there are probably a dozen times where we've had to ask someone to leave, and we've never had an incident where they have put up a fight. It's really, you know, we pride ourselves on our ability to customer serve people and connect with people, and it's never been an issue. But our axe masters are trained. There's a safety protocol that they go through. You will never throw an axe without an axe master being in one of the arenas. And you know, so far so good. And our experience with axe facilities all over the country, Tyler, and all over Canada too, is that they have the same results. As long as you have responsible people watching every move, there's very, very few issues that occur.
We're joined by Geoff Kretchmer, co-partner of Detroit Axe. Learn more information on their website at DetroitAxe.com, where you can learn more about each of their locations in Ferndale, Partridge Creek, and now at the Yard at Cork Town as well. And so talking more about your axe masters, of course, the safety issues that are always going to be talked about regarding the alcohol at these axe throwing locations, but also a lot of times that people are going to these locations, they're going to Detroit Axe or other businesses similar to it to do axe throwing because it sounds fun to them. It's a fun activity. It's something that's a nice social outing for themselves, their families, their friends. But not a lot of people, I wouldn't think, are experienced in throwing an axe proficiently. Are your axe masters also playing a role in training for the patrons to make sure that they are going about throwing these axes safely for themselves and for others around them? And to what extent does that training happen?
Yeah, they're teachers. It's exactly what they do. And so you're right. We don't have people walking in that are Olympic type axe throwers that have been doing this since the age of 3. And so when they come in, they're just really interested in, wow, I don't understand the concept. Do you have to throw it hard? Is the axe too heavy? How does it go? And the beauty of our formula is that we have attracted amazing people. So not only are they great teachers of axe throwing, they are wonderful personalities and wonderful people and have an ability to be able to connect with everybody that comes in. And so, and the beauty of it too is that the axe is only 1.5 pounds. I have an 83-year-old mother that can throw a 1.5 pound axe and stick it into the target. And there are 14-year-old kids, because that's our age limit, that can do the same. So the activity is not challenging once you learn how to do it, but we are there to help you, to instruct you how to throw an axe, to teach you about safety, and then watch as you're throwing them if you're releasing it too quickly or too high, or you're throwing it too hard or too soft, and adjust accordingly. And I know that the vast majority of people have had a lot of success being able to stick the axe into the wood. And it's a very fulfilling feeling when the thunk and the axe goes into the target.
We're joined by Geoff Kretchmer. He is a co-partner at Detroit Axe, promoting their new location, of course, at the Yard at Cork Town, which opened on October 15th with a full bar and cuisine from Ruckus Taco as well. That location, 1375 Michigan Avenue in Detroit, Michigan. There are also 2 other locations in the metropolitan area in both Ferndale and in Partridge Creek. And Geoff, I'm looking at your website, and I also see that you have axe throwing leagues for people that take this on, maybe as a recreational activity, and find it's so fun they want to do axe throwing competitively. Maybe not at the Olympic level, like you mentioned earlier. They haven't been doing this since they were 3 years old or earlier, but they want some competition as well. How can they get involved with these leagues, and what goes into some of these leagues, axe throwing leagues through Detroit Axe?
Right. So this is one of the things that we're most proud of. We have leagues in both facilities, both Partridge Creek and Ferndale, and we will be starting leagues in Cork Town. This is no different than a bowling league. And all of a sudden, you know, the first league starts and you got 9 people that participate, and now it blows up to 20 and 25 and 30, and it's competitive, and these groups have become very, very close friends. Just go on the Detroit Axe website at detroitaxe.com. It'll take you to leagues, or email Ben. Ben Potter is our director of operations for the axe throwing division. He's a great young man. He knows all about axe throwing. He's a great leader. Ben at detroitaxe.com. Same thing. You can email him and find out everything you want about leagues. But it's the same thing as bowling leagues. And it's really worked out great. And you've got eventual champions. And we have people that have been in every league. I don't know how many leagues we've had in 4 years in Cork Town, at Ferndale, but we have had people in the first season of the league, and they have continued to be in every single season we've had. So it's exciting stuff.
So for people that want to join a league, they can, of course, go to your website at detroitaxe.com and learn more. But you also have opportunities at each of your locations, or correct me if I'm wrong, if it's only at certain locations, for special events and group settings as well, to go in and have some axe throwing. It's a great team building experience, a great fun outing for a team, or for an office, or for a family, whatever it may be. How can people go about planning these special events, and to what capacity can these events be planned?
Right. So I will tell you that we plan events, birthday parties, corporate events, regular work outings, surprise parties, bachelor and bachelorette parties at every single location. It happens all the time. Every day we field emails from that kind of stuff. Just email party@detroitaxe.com, PARTY @detroitaxe.com. And we have food options, we have drink options, we have gaming options. And at our location in Ferndale, the first year we probably did 150 corporate type parties. And it's a fun location. It's something different. We're very proud of the service that we provide. Both my partner and I are obsessed with pleasing our customers and our guests. And we're very proud of our food and our food partners. And so I feel like this is a really unique opportunity for, just like you said, Tyler, for some tee building opportunities, for some fun opportunities. It can be competitive and anybody can participate. Well, if you're 14 years old or older.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it, Geoff. Before we let you go, anything else that would be interesting for our audience to keep an eye out for in the future with Detroit Axe, or any other important information that they should know today about your business?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is don't be intimidated by axe throwing. It's fun, it's safe, and anybody can do it. And we'd love you to come down and join us at the Yard at all locations. But the Yard is a really neat, unique location. The outdoor space, like I said, about 8,500 square feet. The indoor space, about 7,000 square feet. And if you're looking for real Instagrammable moments and great experiential opportunities, these places are the place to go.
Well, Geoff, appreciate it. Appreciate your time and telling us more about your new location for Detroit Axe down at the Yard at Cork Town.
Tyler, you're a good man. Thanks for having me on.